Welcome back to Deep Dive Reddit Stories. You know the drill. We dive headfirst into the weirdest, wildest, and sometimes most depressing, relatable corners of the internet.
Yeah, so you don't have to subject your own eyeballs to it. We filter out the, let's say, noise and try to find something actually interesting, or at least vaguely coherent.
Consider us your slightly cynical curators of internet angst, saving you clicks, one existential crisis at a time.
Today, we're tackling a feeling that's probably, let's face it, uncomfortably familiar to maybe half the population. The idea that you peaked, specifically that you peaked in high school.
Oof, yeah, that special kind of dread.
We're going to unpack a story from Lur Stories that really hits this nail on the head. Someone feeling totally stuck after their supposed glory days. And then we'll sift through the varied wisdom of the Reddit crowd.
Well, let's get into it. The post title alone is a mood. I think I peaked in high school and no one noticed I never made it out.
Yeah, doesn't exactly scream inspirational journey, does it?
Not quite. So ROP, the original poster, is 27, living in their hometown, which, can be great. Or it can feel like you missed the exit ramp on life's highway.
Definitely feels like the latter here. Okay, let's unpack this. There's a lot packed into that opening.
Yeah, so high school. Sounds like they were kind of killing it.
Totally. OP describes themselves as the guy. Decent grades, ran track, had a solid friend group, even a girlfriend. Ticking all the boxes.
The archetypal, successful teen movie protagonist.
Exactly. And the killer part, they genuinely thought life would just, keep going like that and maybe get even better, which is adorable in a tragically naive sort of way.
Youthful optimism, so easily crushed. So what happened after graduation? Because it sounds like things took a bit of a nosedive.
A bit. More like a swan dive onto concrete. Post-high school was less prom king and more. College, for starters. Dropped out after a year.
Okay, that happens. What about work?
Kind of a revolving door situation. Tried a job, quit, tried another, got laid off. Just couldn't seem to get anything to stick. It's that pattern,
Yeah, the failure to launch sequence. Rough.
And then it gets heavier. Some really tough personal stuff. One of his closest friends OD'd at 22.
Oh, man. That's awful.
Yeah, brutal. And on top of that, relationship changes. The girlfriend. The high school one.
Let me guess. She's thriving.
You guessed it. She left. OP actually says she was smart of her to leave, which is telling. Now she's married, has a kid, seems happy.
And OP knows this because...
Because they scrolled past her anniversary post on social media, of course. A modern form of self-torture.
Nothing quite like doom scrolling your ex's seemingly perfect life while you're feeling stuck.
Yeah.
So where is OP now? Day to day?
Working a night shift, stocking shelves, which, is a job, but probably not what the guy from high school envisioned.
And socially?
Pretty isolated. Says nobody really talks to him beyond, surface level stuff with coworkers. And he has this heartbreaking line. What would I even say? Hey, remember when I had dreams?
Ouch. That level of self-awareness is painful. What about family? Do they see what's going on?
It sounds like classic denial, maybe, or just parental hope. He says his parents think he's fine. He puts on a smile, says he's figuring things out.
The classic line.
Right. And they apparently still introduce him like he's going to do something big, still clinging to that high school potential narrative.
Which brings us to that whole potential thing.
Yeah.
He questions himself, right? Did he even try?
Yeah, he wonders if he actually tried hard enough or if he just expected life to hand me something because I was told I was full of potential when I was 17. That hits hard. Potential can be such a burden.
Totally. So the core feeling is bleak. He feels he missed my chance, and now he's just watching everyone else, watching life move forward like a parade I'm not part of anymore.
It's incredibly evocative. And then, the kicker. The post is tagged fiction.
Wait, what? Fiction?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Fiction or not, the emotion felt so real, so raw, that it clearly struck a chord. The comment section blew up.
Okay, so even if it's technically fiction, people felt it. So what did the Reddit hive mind have to say? Was it pitchforks or...
Honestly, a real mix. Which is kind of refreshing for the internet. You got the expected tough love, sure, but also a surprising amount of empathy and some actually decent advice.
All right, let's wade into the comments. I assume the pull yourself up by your bootstraps crew showed up first.
Oh, you know it. The just do it mentality was definitely present. How did that land?
Gently, I'm sure. Like a whisper of encouragement.
Huh, hardly. User lol420a69, a username that just screams wisdom, right? Called the OP's mindset toxic. Real deep insight there.
Wow. Groundbreaking. What profound advice did they offer?
Set some goals and shoot your shot. Truly words to live by. Almost makes you wonder why OP didn't think of that.
Revolutionary. Anyone offer slightly less?
Right.
Aggressive, tough love.
Yeah, Smorgasbord 99 had a slightly more nuanced take. Still tough love, but, with context. They pointed out that loads of successful people had years of futility first.
Okay, years of futility sounds marginally better than just toxic.
Right. Their main point was, no one is coming to help you. Which is, a bit bleak, but maybe realistic.
No fairy godmothers here.
Nope. And they use this great analogy. Good news, your life isn't a TV show, it's a video game. Pick up the control. Kind of like it.
Okay, I can see that. Take some agency. They suggested small steps too, right? Like community college.
Exactly. Start small, level up. It's aggressive encouragement, maybe. But then, thankfully, the vibe shifted a bit.
Please tell me someone offered a hug, even a virtual one.
Sort of. We got the It's Never Too Late camp chiming in. Much more optimistic. User Ancient Meal 5465 shared a really cool story about their brother.
Oh, yeah. What happened with the brother?
Also 27, felt stuck, went back to university for a totally different degree, and apparently turned his whole life around. Got a scholarship, job lined up before graduating, the works.
Okay, that's genuinely hopeful. What was their main message to OP?
Basically, you haven't missed your chance. And this great line, there are so many jobs out there that you've never even heard of. Which makes me wonder what secret cool jobs I'm missing out on.
Professional ice cream taster.
Yeah.
Netflix binge watcher. Sign me up. But yeah, the point is solid. You are still young. You haven't wasted your life. They even asked about OP's strengths, which is nice. Practical empathy.
Totally. And Lanya and Lunyan jumped on that too, saying, look, even if this story's fiction, the feeling is super real for a lot of people out there, and that it's never too late to learn new things and go on new adventures.
A good counter-narrative to the whole peaked at 17 thing.
Definitely. But my favorite responses, honestly, the pure empathy and validation, folks.
The I Feel You crew. What did they bring?
User Constant Seaweed 523 just laid it out. Genuinely, I think there are so many people who feel the same exact way. Just validating the feeling.
Sometimes that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
To know you're not the only one feeling like garbage.
Exactly. And this user praised the OP, even if fictional, for sounding very level-headed and taking accountability, which, let's be real, is rare online.
True. What else stood out from the empathy camp?
What's fascinating here is just how common this feeling is. This user, Constant Seaweed 523, then went off on the whole idea of peaking. Then he said, I actually really hate the whole concept of peaking at any age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's such a limiting idea, isn't it? Like life's a mountain, you climb once and then just slide down.
Right. So dumb. And they brought up some really valid points about why it might feel harder now. Things have changed so much. It's harder to make friends, keep in contact with old friends, and to stop being stagnant and progress in life.
And the economy. Can't forget the economy.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that too. The current economy making everything so much worse and harder. It adds that external pressure context. It's not just you. The system is kind of rough right now.
That context is so important. It's not always just individual failing. And naturally, Reddit being Reddit, there was a music recommendation.
Of course. Couldn't end without it. Rana Catri's kept it simple. Listen to The Kids Aren't All Right by The Offspring.
Perfect. Because nothing says adult disillusionment like 90s punk rock. A timeless message.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So pulling all these threads together, what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, for one, it really throws a spotlight on that whole societal pressure cooker of potential, right?
Yeah.
How being told you're going to be great when you're young can actually feel kind of crippling later if things don't pan out exactly as planned.
Totally. It emphasizes that clash between the, shiny high school highlight reel and the often messy, complicated, frankly disappointing reality of just being an adult sometimes.
And it definitely shows how much things like the economy and just, the vibe of society right now impacts young adults. It's not just in your head. Things are different, maybe harder in some ways.
But maybe the flip side is seeing the value in these online spaces. Like, Reddit gets a bad rap, obviously, sometimes deservedly. But here you see people sharing really vulnerable stuff and finding, well, maybe not answers, but connection and a whole spectrum of advice from brutal to kind.
Yeah, from get over it to I get it, which is kind of like real life, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this raises an important question. What truly defines success or making it anyway? especially after that very specific, very narrow definition from high school fades.
Right, maybe making it looks different at 27 or 37 or 57 than it did at 17. This whole thing really pushes back on the idea that life is some straight line upwards.
It's almost never linear, and that concept of peaking, it just feels actively unhelpful, maybe even harmful.
It sets you up for disappointment. It's
Yeah.
this constant tension, isn't it? Between what you want to do, what you feel you should do, and then just circumstances, life
You
happening.
take personal drive versus the universe throwing curveballs, or sometimes just forgetting to give you a bat.
So, wrapping this up, we dove into this really raw story, fiction or not, doesn't almost matter about feeling stuck after high school. We saw the internet grapple with it, offering everything from a kick in the pants to a virtual shoulder to cry on.
It's kind of the whole internet experience in one thread, really. Chaos, empathy, questionable advice, and 90s music recommendations.
Couldn't ask for more. Now, if this deep dive resonated with you, maybe hit a little too close to home, or you just enjoy our particular brand of internet splunking.
Then please do us a solid, hit that subscribe button, maybe leave a rating, and definitely drop a comment, tell us your thoughts. Did you peak? Are you peaking now? Is peaking even real? We genuinely want to know.
And we leave you with this final thought to marinate on. This story really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we as a society maybe a little too obsessed with those early milestones, prom king, valedictorian, whatever, as the ultimate benchmark?
And how does that obsession maybe screw up our ability to just navigate and maybe even enjoy the messy, unpredictable, sometimes kind of weird journey of actual adulthood?
Maybe the peak isn't behind you. Maybe it's ahead. Or maybe there are lots of peaks. Or maybe it's more of a plateau with occasional nice views. Who knows? Chew on that.